Hi, I'm Paweł Spychalski, and first of all I would like to thank all my Patreon and YouTube supporters for their backing. If you are not one of them, please consider becoming one for as little as $2 a month. And now, today let's talk about the FPV camera, because I don't know why, but I have something like, I don't know, kind of almost negative approach to making reviews of the FPV cameras. Why? Because it doesn't really make sense to make the review of the outside of the camera. Why? Because every other FPV camera looks from the outside and behaves from the outside almost exactly the same. There are of course special cases, like does it have an enclosure or this is open model, but then all cameras have right now input for the joystick, has a voltage in, video out, and in some cases also the voltage sense for the voltage you want to be able to use with the FPV option of the camera inside if you do not want to use external from the camera OSD, for example, on the flight controller. Okay, the colors might be different, but cameras from the outside are exactly the same. However, from time to time, companies give you a new model, so I decided that I will not really be doing videos about the external appearances of the cameras, because this thing makes really sense. So today let's make a very short review of the Foxeer Predator 5. Now, this is very important. I never had any other camera from the Predator series. This is my first Predator I was comparing with what I know about the FPV cameras and the cameras I've been using. And let's be honest, my previous favorite cameras were the Eagle series from Runcam. But a lot of people love Foxeer, and for example, the previous generations of Predator had really pretty good reviews. Now, I put my Predator on my 7-inch drone and was flying this for at least few weeks before I'm recording actually this video right now. And to be honest, I have to say that I'm not really 100% sure about the Predator 5. Sorry, Foxeer, but this time I'm not really super optimistic like I'm usually am with your hardware. Why? Not that it's a bad camera, but I personally think that the default tune of the Foxeer Predator 5 is somehow, well, too colorful and too much contrast, and as the result the image is kinda overly saturated. Right now you should be watching somewhere the DVR recording from my Predator 5, recorded in kinda sunny day some time ago, and while the image on the DVR is kinda good, well, comparing DVRs between this camera and different cameras, I really have to say that okay, it looks good. However, in the goggles, when the quality is usually much higher than with the DVRs, I do have to say that by default the image was like too much contrast, dark places were too dark, bright places were too bright, and everything was either too green or too blue, and it kinda looks strange. Now, the image actually improved quite a lot, at least in the goggles, when I tuned the default settings. What I did, I increased the brightness and I lowered the saturation and the contrast on the camera. And starting from this point, the image really started to look fine. And the dark places were not too dark and the bright places were not too bright. And the flying one more time was kinda simple when going from a bright area under the trees, when there is of course a lot of shade. However, I don't know why the DVR quality on the changed tune to be brighter and less saturated made the DVR recording look kinda worse. So really, in goggles this time it really looks much better. So this is why I'm not really 100% sure I like the Predator, because okay, after tuning it's kinda fine, however I do not really believe that this fine is really enough. So If you want to continue, and if you think that other reviews of the Predator convinced you to use the Predator 5, then yeah, please do use Predator 5, because after some tuning the image is just fine, or it's just fine for you on the defaults. However, for me, and let's be honest, reviews are usually about the very subjective feelings of the reviewers, once not really up to the expected standards. So this is why this is kinda like, I'm really sorry, but this time I'm not super optimistic. So with that, I don't know, not optimistic? Optimistic? With that realistic review, thank you very much for watching, and until the next one. Bye bye.